What are you doing? I'm Viv today.
I thought I was Viv today.
No, I'm here. I'll do Viv.
I want to do Viv.
Do
you want to do Viv?
I'll be Viv.
All right. I'll do Edward.
You do Edward.
Yeah, I've always wanted to snug you.
Hello, I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hi guys, welcome to Call to Stage with me, Amber Davies. Now today, we are recording this from my dressing room in Southend, so bear with. If you hear noise in the background, it's probably someone walking to and from stage. But today, I have someone very special to me sitting next to me. We've only been in each other's lives for
Nearly a year.
nearly a year, but I can solidly say she is one of my best friends in the world. It's my girl, Rebekah Bryant.
Hello.
I'm literally so buzzing that you're here.
I'm really nervous.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm just like, oh.
We literally chat all day, every day
I know.
for the past year. Like
I know.
it's no different.
Yeah, very true.
But this is really, really special because we're currently in Pretty Woman together.
Yep.
We've been touring the UK, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
And what are you?
I am a swing
Yeah.
and a cover. Your first cover.
She's my first cover. So
Yeah.
she plays Vivian Ward when I'm not here. So it will be really interesting to talk about our relationship or
Yes.
relationships you've had with the people playing those roles,
the roles, yeah.
in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask everybody this.
Okay.
Pick any show you've ever been in or any role you've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
What is your pre-show ritual?
Oh, it's hard. It does definitely change depending on the show.
Yeah.
And the people that are around you. Because here we've got one set with the hands in and the chant.
Yeah.
And we always say, let's something, this something.
Okay.
And it has to be that format. In Saturday Night Fever, I had one because I wore a leotard.
Right.
So this is a bit of a weird one, but I would like de-wedgify myself. And if I didn't do that, I'd just be nervous that my bum cheeks were going to be out.
Okay, I love that.
So that was like a check that I would have to do.
And our Bex has got a beautiful bum, haven't you? So
Stop. I have to make up for the lack of boobage.
Tittage.
Yeah. Got to have one end.
I've got one, you've got the other.
Perfect.
So de-wedgify.
De-wedgify, yeah.
To be fair, these leotards, they are painful. 8 shows a week.
Blimey. And you have your mic in your head.
Yes.
We had our mics around our waist.
Right, okay.
So actually the leotard was fitted to me. And then you had to add your 2 mic
Mics.
packs in. So it was just constantly going up there. Okay. So I just had to check every day that it was going to be out for the appearance because I wore a long skirt.
Okay.
And the long skirt came off on stage. So I'd be like, I need to just make sure my bum's not hanging out.
Okay, love that. And then for Viv,
Yeah.
when you go on for Viv, do you do anything?
I don't really. I've kind of copied yours, you know,
What is it? Oh.
which is just belt out anywhere. Yeah, just make sure it's there because that note comes from nowhere.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's there. Obviously, Ollie comes in at the 5.
Yeah.
If it's Ollie, which is a bit of a pre-show ritual.
I like that. You've
Yeah.
adopted mine.
I've adopted yours, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, let's go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay.
When did you know that you wanted to do this as a career?
I was a bit of a late bloomer.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. I did like a Saturday 3-hour vibe. So like 1 hour of singing, 1 hour of acting, 1 hour of dancing. But it was like very low key. We didn't do any technical stuff. The singing was just like, let's just sing Revolting Children from Matilda.
Was that locally?
It was locally, yeah. And I did that until I was about 14.
Oh,
I didn't do
wow.
no modern, no tap, no jazz. Like I only really started doing full-blown dance and individual singing lessons when I went to Italia Conti.
At 15?
At 15, yeah.
Wow, because you're such a technical dancer.
Well, I think I just fake it.
Fake it till
I
you
think if
make
you
it.
actually saw my turnout and my point, you'd be like, God.
But
like,
you've got,
awful.
I think maybe naturally you just have the ability to like move your body.
Yeah, maybe. Which sometimes I get frustrated about because I'm like, if I started earlier, would I be like the next best ballet dancer? But
Yeah.
I did loads of different stuff when I was younger.
Yeah.
I wasn't like pushed into a certain hobby. My parents were just like, do whatever you want. Yeah.
Do you feel like you fall short in any of the three, or do you feel like because you were a late bloomer,
Yeah.
or do you feel like, because I think personally as your friend, I know I'm modest, but you're like strong all three.
I think I've always, it's been a bit of a struggle because in this industry, you have to either really excel at something to do a lead or really excel at dancing to be in the best dance shows.
Yeah.
And I've always just been like good at all of them. There's not one that I'm like, yeah, I'm a singer. Yeah, I'm a dancer. Like, and they kind of move depending on what job I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I don't know really. I think singing has always scared me the most.
Interesting.
Yeah,
considering you cover Viv.
Well, yeah, I just never thought that would happen. But like I say, I had to sing those songs into my body about 27,000 times because it was alien.
Yeah.
But at performers, it was like mostly dance. We would only have one singing lesson a week.
So talking about performers, you did a pre-voc there.
Yes.
First.
Yeah, for a year.
Did you audition for the pre-voc or did they offer you that?
I auditioned for the 3-year, but they offered me the pre-voc because I didn't have funding to do the 3 years.
Interesting.
So I did the pre-voc. I actually got offered the 3 years at Conti with funding and the pre-voc at performers.
Did you want performers?
I wanted performers because one of my oldest teachers, Chris Baldock, he was artistic director at performers and he said to me, performers will push you.
Yeah.
If you think about the fact you've got offered a 3-year course with funding at one college and a pre-voc at the other, which do you think is going to be more challenging? And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I did the pre-voc, which enabled me to get the Dada for the 3-year after.
I actually, because my sister did a pre-voc.
Yes, she did,
in
didn't
Bird.
she? Yeah.
I am always so envious of people who have had 4 years rather than 3.
It's a long time, but it's a big difference.
I just think you learn so much more. You grow so much more.
The pre-voc was intense.
Was it?
God, yeah, bodycon every day. Like you started from the very beginning, how to roll down through your spine. Like it felt tedious at first. And then when I was looking back at videos from the start of the year to the end, I was like, bloody hell.
You've come a long way.
Yeah, wow, in a year.
Did you like have any friends in the pre-voc that went on with you to do the diploma?
Yeah, there was a group of probably, it must have been about 15 of us maybe.
Oh, that went to
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and a good 7 of us got Dadas because we'd done the pre-voc. Yeah, we all got
love
called in
that.
for our chats and we were like, did you get one? Yeah, we got one. It was so nervous, but yeah, good.
How did you find performers?
I loved it.
Did you?
Looking back, I loved it more than when I was there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you're there, you just take it for granted. You're like, God, it's hard work. 8 till 8 most days. A good day was 8 till 5. That would be like, oh, it's a Friday. We finish at 5, dreamy. But it was intense. So sometimes you resented it for that because you were just knackered.
Yeah.
But looking back now, I'm like, God, that was amazing. I would do it all again with more
Gratitude.
and gratitude if I could. Yeah. Because there was days where
really
I was like,
interesting.
I couldn't be bothered to do a plie.
I know, but
Honestly.
when you're shattered like that,
Yeah, true.
I truly believe the hardest time in my life was college.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, you're so young.
yeah.
So you're actually learning so much about yourself. So some days you're like well up for it. And other days you're like, I don't even know if I really, truly want to do this.
Or have you even like put the right nutrition in your body because you're cooking for yourself?
Yeah, God, I wouldn't eat before 8 a.m. ballet and I'd be like, what am I doing? I'm going to faint. But that was just life there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Always eat before 8 a.m. ballet.
Always eat before 8 a.m. ballet. Or 10 a.m. ballet. Any ballet.
So this is so interesting, guys, because me and Bex were always meant to cross paths at some point because your first professional job was 9 to 5.
Yes.
Which we just skimmed each other. So I'd just finished and you started.
Just started, yeah.
And you covered Judy.
Yeah.
I played Judy. So how was that? Did you enjoy that?
I loved it. I loved 9 to 5. I covered Dora Lee as well.
First
which was
covered Dora Lee,
amazing.
who is Dolly Parton.
Yeah. I think that blew my mind because that was my professional debut and I thought I would just love to get ensemble. When my agent rang me to say, your first cover Dora Lee, second cover Judy, I was like, are you sure this offers for me? Like, are you sure this isn't meant for someone else? Because I wasn't a singer. I loved singing, but now I'm more confident. But at the time I was like, and I listened to your recording of Get Out and Stay Out about 75,604 times to try and be able to do it. And when
did
I was in the
you
audition,
ever think that we'd be
no,
best pals?
No, I honestly didn't. And then like,
Yeah,
now
your
knowing
audition.
you, I'm like, oh my God, it's just so funny that you were the reason I got the job because I just kept listening to your voice.
Did you?
Yeah, constant. Wild.
So what was the audition like?
Terrifying. Really terrifying. But somehow it just came out and it went really, really well. And I always feel like that happens in an audition that you're meant to book the job of. So it was amazing. The team were amazing. I loved it.
Did you do the option up at the end?
No.
Did you not?
No.
Did you ever go on for Judy?
No. I was second cover. It was a short run as well, 8 months.
It was a short
And we
run.
had Em Woodford, who was first cover. She was bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, never went on, just did my cover run. Got my vids to send to my agent and that was about it. No, I did not do the option up at the end.
You didn't, but you could do it.
No, I'll do it for you later and you'll laugh. I'll crack.
Why don't we'll do a little thing right at the end.
We'll do a demo.
Yeah, you can try it.
Oh God, it'll be
So
hell.
that is a gorgeous professional debut.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
such
crazy.
a fun show. You took it around the country.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great.
What more could you wish for?
Yeah, it was a
Were you
beautiful
Missy
one.
as well?
Yeah, Missy. Frank. That one.
I love that.
I know.
I loved Missy.
Bougie character.
Bougie.
Yeah.
And then you went on to play a lead.
Yes.
So you led in Saturday Night Fever, the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about that.
That job was like my favourite ever.
Really?
I think because it was kind of came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't audition for Stephanie. They just rang me at the end to say, we want to see you for Stephanie in the finals. I actually got cut from the Saturday Night Fever rounds. Yeah. I went and I sang my song and they loved me in the room. And then I was on my way home. My agent rang me to say they don't want to see you back. And I was really confused and gutted. So I was like, right, I feel really sad. I'm going to go get my hair cut and blow dried tomorrow because I'm depressed.
Yeah.
And I was sat in the chair. My agent rang me and he went, babe, they want you back in to sing, to see you to do Stephanie in an hour and a half. And obviously I live in Loughborough.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, it ain't happening. One hair's up here, one hair's down here. I'm not booked a train. Like, it's not going to happen. And he was like, just get there as soon as you can. So I did. I learnt the song on the train. I was in the toilet singing What Kind of Fool. And I kid you not, the ticket man came and he was like, somebody says you're singing in here. And I was like, yeah, and? And he was like, it's just a bit weird. And I was like, well, I've got an audition. What do you want me to do? I was like, I can't deal with muggles. They don't get it. I was there with my sheet music, like, I have to sing in here, please, just let me. And I went in.
Oh my God.
And it was Bill Kenwright, bless his lovely soul, had my phone in my hand and he went, well, you can't hold that. And I said, well, I can, or I'll just be silent because I don't know the words. You've just sent it to me. So I wasn't expecting anything at all. So when they called me to say you've got Stephanie, I was like, oh my God.
You must have put your all into it.
Oh God, yeah. Once I knew that I was back in, I was like, right, this is a sign. I've just been cut and now I'm back in. I'm going to prove that they made the right decision getting me back. And that job was amazing. The people were all beautiful humans, no bad eggs.
Oh,
it was only a 12-week run. So like you're not sick of anything or anyone. I would go back and do it again now. I loved it.
I always feel like a shorter run is so much more healthy.
Yeah.
Because you don't get sick of things.
You don't know. You don't get complacent.
No.
Because everything still feels fairly fresh.
Yeah.
People don't get on your nerves because naturally that happens after time.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from you, you don't annoy me.
You don't annoy me either.
But yeah, it
you.
was beautiful. I love you.
I love you.
I love you more.
I love you.
I love you the most. Weirdos.
So, would you say you felt a lot more responsibility playing Stephanie
Yes.
because you were leading it?
Yeah. I will admit, having done both, the lead, cover, swing, ensemble, it's really easy as an ensemble member to sit back, especially when you've watched the show, because you kind of see in points how little they do, how little they're focused on with lighting and sound. So you're like, I could probably just give it 40% here and no one would really know. And that's really bad to admit. But when you have days where you're absolutely knackered, it does happen. But when you're playing the lead, you can't And
you
that's
have to
nice.
be switched on at all times.
You have no choice but just to give it your all the time. And I think I need that because I can get a bit like, oh, I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's last one of the week. I'm just going to mark this bit.
And I guess now that you're a swing, I bet you feel polar opposite. I bet you're like buzzing your tits off when you go on.
Yeah. When I was first a swing, I was like, oh my God, I hate this. Rehearsals were hell.
You've never been a swing. So Bex is a swing in Pretty Woman undercover. But originally, when you took the Pretty Woman contract,
Yes.
you were swing and emergency cover Vivian.
Yep.
So leave Vivian for a second.
Mm-hmm.
First time being swing.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk.
It wasn't anything that ever appealed to me.
Mm-hmm.
It never appealed to me to be a swing. I hadn't thought to myself, like, I really want to have that mind of like doing 17,000 tracks and smashing it. So when I got the call, I was like, okay, it'll be good to have on my CV, but I don't want to be boxed off as a swing for the rest of time. And I always thought I want to be on stage every single night. So rehearsals happened and you sort of just sit in the corner and have to get as much from rehearsals as you can, ask as many questions as you can. And it depends what show you do, what team you're working with, how often they'll swing you on for a track. But in ours, it wasn't very often. It was just if someone was ill or went home early or whatever. So it was really difficult. And I thought I shouldn't have taken this, especially from coming from playing
The lead.
to almost like the bottom of the cover pile.
Yeah.
And like emergency ensemble situation, I guess. It's not that. Now that I've done it, I realise it's not that. But at the time, I was like, I'm just like last option everything.
Yes.
But
you're not at all.
It very quickly changed. Like when I'd sort of ticked off 3 of my tracks, I was like, okay, this is actually quite fun. And I will admit I was more scared for my swing debut than I was for my Viv debut.
Oh, really?
100%. I think because it affects so many more people if you go wrong.
Yeah, okay, got you.
You're like, oh God, I need to be on my shit so that I make sure that no one else gets in my way or I don't hurt anyone, injure anyone.
Yeah. Especially if there's partner work, things like that.
Partner work, yeah, spacing. Like, it's really scary.
And I always think there's 2 types of performers. There's one who has a swing brain and functions that way, and the other who doesn't. Like, I 100% don't have a swing brain. And I can imagine you didn't think you did.
No.
But you definitely do. You've unlocked that.
Yeah, I've unlocked it. And I didn't, even in rehearsals, I was thinking, I don't know what I'm doing.
No.
And if I was to get chucked on tomorrow, people would get hurt. Like that was the sort of scenario I was in. And it wasn't until you're in the situation on the stage and you just have to do it.
You're under that pressure.
Your brain's like, oh, okay, actually, I do go to 4 here and I do this. And it just happens. And I remember Jade saying she doesn't use maps or anything like that. And I would think, God, I would need all of that. Haven't.
No.
It just goes in somehow if you have the brain.
Yeah.
So I would, and I will say now, I would swing again.
Oh, yay!
But at the start of the contract, I was like, nope.
I remember like looking at your face and you were kind of in the corner of the room like,
what have I done? Sat there like, oh my God. I would just watch everything, wouldn't I?
yeah.
They'd be like, get up and do it. And I was like, no.
It did go in, obviously.
Somehow, yeah.
And then how many tracks have you done in this show? You've completed it, haven't you?
Everything, yeah. So there's 6 ensemble tracks and your track, so that's 7.
So you've done you've done 7 tracks.
7 tracks, yeah.
That's crazy.
Mental.
And it's so lovely because obviously it's sad when people are off and people have NAs, but I love it when you're on.
Yeah, it's so fun.
We just have like, we can make eye contact and
try and add in little bits.
Yeah.
And before the show, we're like, what can we add in today? That's going to be really subtle, but for us, it'll be really funny. There's not much, is there?
I think we did a high five once.
But we did get told off.
And we got told off, so.
Damn it.
Anyway.
Never again.
So let's talk about the Viv situation.
Okay.
You were 3rd cover Viv.
Yes.
And I remember us having a conversation and you saying, I'm never going to go on. Like, we actually thought that, because it's like a big thing if a 2nd cover goes on.
Yeah, like I never went on for Judy, and that was my 2nd cover.
Yes.
That was a 9-month run. This one's 12. It's not crazy different.
No.
I just sort of based it on that and thought, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. And then the 1st cover left, she got another job.
Yep.
And you then got bumped to first cover.
Yes.
How did you feel in that moment? Because I think mentally you thought, I'm never going to play her.
Yeah.
To, I'm literally the go-to gal now.
Yeah, it's a big change. And obviously, I'll be honest, when I got the offer for third cover Viv, I was disappointed because I've always had a first cover lead or played the lead, and not that means I'm fantastic, but that was just where I strived for the trajectory of my career to carry on going.
Yeah.
So when it was third cover, I was like, okay, it's a hard sing. It's a big acting role. I've never seen myself as a singer or an actress mostly. Like I said, I'm just fairly good at all of them, never like bang on either. So I was like, okay, fine. Swinging will be good. Third cover will be nice. I'll learn it and I'll maybe get to do a cover run. But then, I don't know. I just think I'm rubbish in an audition scenario.
That's what she said. Because when I heard you sing Viv, I thought, how are you not first cover? And she said, I'm a terrible auditionee. And I get that because I am.
It's really hard to
show your potential in the room because nerves get the better of you.
Nerves get the better of you. And you assume that everybody going into that room is amazing. So you're like, I'm probably going to be bottom of the pile here. Like I'm not got the best belt on me. Like I'm probably going to be quite weak. And I would not be brave enough to make bold choices. When you're in the costume, you've got the mic on your head, the lights are on you, you've got Ollie Saville giving you the lines that he does every single night confidently. You just feel at ease. And like the first time I went on, I thought, this is the one and only time. I'm going to have the best time ever and I'm just going to be a nutter. I'm going to be myself.
Yeah.
Which works for Viv.
Yeah.
And I think they just loved it. I think they just reported back that I was quite natural and enjoying myself. And that's because I'd forced myself to do that. Yeah. And I worked really hard on the songs because in the audition, they weren't the best I've ever sung them.
Same.
So I just worked so hard at making them great because I thought I'm not going to go up there and do a bad job.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that will go with me to auditions now because I do know I can do it.
Yes, you can.
Like everyone can. If you put your mind to something, you practice enough, you can do it. But I just
also with a role like Viv, and I think with a load of roles, right? Sometimes it is about the way your personality matches with that character.
Yes.
We're very naturally Viv.
Yes, goofy.
In general life.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes I feel like we concentrate so much on the words, saying the words right and singing the note right. And actually it's just about being yourself.
Bringing that personality. Yeah, I agree. Like I can't ever see myself in like an old-fashioned musical theatre role.
Yeah.
Being like all prim and proper. Maybe, but I would have to act.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I feel like there's parts of Viv where we maybe don't have to act.
Yeah.
Obviously not the prostitute part. Let's clear that up. But like the goofy bit.
Yeah.
The bit where she doesn't really care about what people think of her. Like we've got that in us, I think. So that really helps.
And then I'd love to talk about the dynamic of obviously our relationship and the fact that you are my first cover.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, you think it helped that I started as third, don't you?
Well, the question I asked Bex the other day was, do you think we'd be as close as we are if you were
started
originally
as first cover? Yeah, I don't know. I know what you mean because there's like that unspoken...
There's just this unspoken thing in the industry, isn't there?
It's not like a competitiveness, but it's just like, you're literally going to be me when I'm not here. And it's just it's like an unspoken like, are you better? Are you worse? What is it? It's just I suppose it's just an interest. And then when you find that out, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I think maybe we would have still got to this point, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe on like day one, it would have been a bit like, oh, you're my first cover. But then we would have got here 10 months later and still been at this stage.
To be honest, I've never felt that because I always look at my covers like, with me, I try and get all my covers on.
Oh, God,
Like I'll go above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
But how much I appreciate you. Like I've literally just been recovering from laryngitis and Bex literally saved my ass. We were tag teaming, weren't we?
Yeah.
You were doing the matinee. I was coming in for the evening. You were just the easiest.
Yeah.
And even like sometimes it's really weird mentally because I'm a true Libra. I cannot make decisions. And sometimes you'd go, prioritize yourself, stay at home. But I knew Bex was saying that for me.
Yeah,
And not because she wanted to go on as Viv,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I think it helps that I love you.
Yeah.
If you were horrid, I'd be like, prioritize yourself, stay at home. Come on. But I think as well, you're really bad at taking your own advice.
Yeah, I am.
So you'd wake up with like half a voice and be like, I think I can do it. And I'm like, Amber, you literally sound like the croakiest little frog. I'm not sure it's going to happen today. And you're like, yeah, okay, maybe you're right.
You're like, Amber, you're on steroids.
You're literally just popping steroids. It's not a good thing. But I think it's a really good mindset to have that it's not my role as well. It's your role. I think sometimes covers get protective over the role and you don't have the right to, not to sound horrid, but like if you were going to play the role, you'd be playing the role. You're a cover for a reason. You're hired to play Vivian Ward. I'm hired to play it when you're not there. I'm not going to push you out the way to play it.
And then moving forward,
Yeah.
obviously we can't go into too much detail. Put it like this, Bex is going on to do something absolutely fabulous next.
Yes.
It's very exciting.
It is exciting.
You're in a very fortunate position. Like literally you've booked a job before we even finished.
I feel really lucky because I've only ever had that with one scenario. Every other time I've had to be out of work for like months to try and work for it. And I feel like the industry is quiet at the minute. So I feel really fortunate and I feel just relieved.
And I think that like good things happens to good people. You know, you're like one of the most genuine souls ever. And you're so hardworking 99.9% of the time.
Not on a Sunday.
Not on a Sunday.
Not on a Sunday, no.
Don't ask me to go on the second show of the day. I want to ask you one question. If you had to give your 10-year-old self advice, what would it be about this industry and about dreams and about, you know, motivation?
It would probably just be to enjoy the process and take the pressure off the outcome, whatever that may be, because I do truly think what's meant for you won't pass you. And so if you're like bigging up this thing and you're making it your be all and end all and it doesn't happen, you're going to be gutted. So you've just got to enjoy the process. If you meet great people along the way, it's a real bonus. Like, don't think of everything as a test of your talent and your personality. Just do it for you. And whatever the outcome will be is what was meant to be. Yeah.
I love that so much. Thank you so much. And
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
for
me.
listening, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.